everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a try on haul of my very first order of things that I got from YesStyle. YesStyle is a website that has a lot of like Korean and Japanese and I think like Taiwanese and stuff, beauty products and like clothing and like just all kinds of things. So there were a couple things that I wanted to get from YesStyle and kind of like see what I thought about the website. So these are the things that I got and I'm gonna try them on and kind of give you like my first impression of them. So these I definitely got caught up in the packaging of them. They're very beautiful and I thought that these would be like just really pretty kind of products to like collect, but you know, I want to see if the product's good or if it's worth buying or anything, because even if it has like a really pretty packaging, if the product absolutely sucks, then you know, it's not really worth it. But here is one of them. It's so pretty. So these are from the brand Labiotte and this is called like the Momentique collection. So there are like blushes, there's eyeshadows, there's like some eyeliners and things. So I will go through all the things that I got and let you guys know what I think about them. So I got 6 different things from this line. They all kind of like range from certain you know, face products to eye products. So here's one of them in the box. This is kind of what the outer packaging looks like. It has like the time face, and this whole collection's kind of based on like I don't know, kind of like antique-y time kind of theme to it, which I think is really pretty. So the first 2 products I got are face products. So these are the 2 products. They are so adorable. They look like little pocket watches or timepieces. I think that these are just so beautiful, and each one of these is a split pan product, which is typically not my favorite, but you know, I really wanted to try these out, so I kind of put that aside. So there are actually a lot more blushes that come in this line. I only got 2 of them because I didn't want to go crazy and buy them all. So these are 2 of them that I got. This first one here is called 10 p.m. and that one is more of like a deeper blush kind of color, and then like a very light kind of bronzery or kind of contoury kind of color. And the other one I got is called 2 p.m. and this one is more of like a brighter blush, and then this one over here could probably be used as like a highlighter. That's gonna be how I'm kind of testing these today, so I'm gonna yeah, try these out. And these are called the Momentique Time Blushers. So these were a little bit more expensive than what I would typically pay for like a lot of like Korean beauty products. I usually end up kind of staying with like more of the like medium to low kind of range, but these are a little bit more expensive, but I thought they were so special I really wanted to give them a try. These I think were about $15.92 a piece, so a little bit up there in price. I'll have to see, are they worth $15 or not, or you know, is it really just kind of like the packaging that makes it worth it for me? So this one is the 10 p.m. First I'm gonna start with this contoury kind of bronzery kind of shade. I'm gonna use my angled brush and see how this applies. So far it seems like it's definitely one of those products that's a little bit more on the light side, which to be honest I kind of expected, because that tends to kind of be the overall kind of, I don't know, theme or like the zeitgeist of like Korean makeup. It seems to be a lot more natural and subtle, and but definitely as I build it up I can definitely see it's doing something to my skin. So here is the side with it, and then here is the side with nothing. So it definitely does add a little bit of color, but it's definitely going to be a lot more subtle, a lot more natural than like, you know, a lot of Western makeup. And the 10 p.m. color has absolutely no shimmer in it, so if that's something you're looking for, this might be a good one to check out. The blush doesn't have any shimmer to it at all, so that is kind of one thing I prefer. And I'm also going to take just a little bit of this and kind of like contour my nose a bit and just kind of see how that works. I feel like it actually shows up quite a bit more on the nose than it did on my face. But so far it's not bad. So that is how the kind of contour product looks on my face. I think it definitely actually really did actually like show up a bit. I think it's definitely a lot more of on the natural side, but it definitely didn't, you know, do nothing kind of product. So I'm actually really glad about that, because sometimes I've tried a few Korean products where I'm like, okay, this really did nothing, but this I think so far I like a lot. If I look at the 2 blushes together, this one is the 10 p.m. this one's the 2 p.m. I think that this one's actually just a little bit like less saturated than this one. I feel like this one's like a little bit brighter, but like as far as color tone they're actually very, very similar. So I'm gonna start with this one and then maybe I'll top it off with the other one. So now I'm gonna apply that to my cheeks. I'm actually kind of pleasantly surprised. I think it definitely does kind of show up a bit. There it is on that side. This is the side with nothing on it. I also like that it isn't overly powdery, so I can kind of like dip my brush in here. I'm kind of like, you know, when you get a new product you kind of have to like almost like scrub in just a tiny bit to kind of get rid of that top layer. I definitely feel like that is the case with this one, but once you kind of get past that, it definitely, you know, doesn't leave a whole lot of powder in there at all, so I'm actually really glad about that as well. And I forgot to mention, the blushers do come with like these little applicators. These, I have to say, they're actually a little bit better than some other applicators that come with blushes, but I just overall, I don't like the shape at all. And now I'm gonna move on to like the more highlighter kind of color from 2 PM. It's definitely more of like a pinky kind of light coral. Definitely like super subtle. I think you can kind of see there's like a little bit of a sheen there. If you like super natural kind of highlighters, this actually might be a good option for you. I like something just a tiny bit more kind of sheeny. So here's the side with the highlighter, and then this is the side without. So, you know, definitely a little bit more on the naturally kind of side, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. So I definitely like that I can actually tell that I've done something, not in so much a way that like, oh, I can see your makeup, but like I can tell that like there's product there and it looks nice. So I'm actually really, you know, not mad at this at all. I think $15 is a little bit more on the high side for this type of product, but I'm surprised that it was as pigmented as it was, because I'm just, you know, used to using some Korean products that are a little bit more on the light sheer side. Another thing I would mention is that these seem like the type of product that just would look really bad swatched. I kind of did like some light swatches of these whenever I like first opened it, and I was like, I don't know about that. But then whenever I actually applied it to my skin, I feel like it performs a lot better than what the swatches would have indicated. One other thing I just kind of noticed that kind of like is a little bit weird. So these are both the blush products, but if you notice, like the actual finish of the metal, it's actually not metal, it's a plastic, is different. So this one is more of like the frosted kind of like gold, and this one is more of like a actual like mirrored gold. I don't know if you can really tell the difference through the camera or not, but I can definitely see in person. I don't know why these two have like a different kind of finish to the package, especially since they're like both in the same line. So I don't know, just one little thing that I noticed that I thought was a little bit weird. So moving on, this is the Momentique Time Shadow, and this one is so cute. You know, to be honest, it's a little bit smaller than I expected. Just for like a size comparison, I will compare it to the blush. I thought they were all gonna be the same size, so you know, just kind of like a size comparison. This is the blush kind of product, and this is the eye product. So the trio that I got for the eyes is this one. This one's called 11 o'clock. This one's a little bit more of like a kind of mauvey berry kind of leaning towards it. It's definitely a lot more warm kind of colors. As far as the color options, they were all very similar to each other. So 11 o'clock is the one I have here. This one's gonna be like the most kind of rosier tone. The next one was 3 o'clock. That one's more of like just like a kind of goldy bronze. And then the other one was 7 o'clock, and that one is kind of a little bit more of like a peachy or kind of slightly corally kind of color, but I definitely don't think you would need to buy more than one of these, just because they are so similar in color. Like, it's just this but slightly more gold. And for the eyeshadow trio, I paid $13.52. So again, a little bit more expensive than what I would pay for like, you know, a regular eyeshadow trio, but I will definitely give this a try. And I don't know, I'm kind of worried because I don't have that great of a track record with Korean like just powder shadows. I just typically, from the ones I've tried, I haven't liked them that much. So here is a more up close look at what the trio is. So there are 2 shimmery shades and 1 matte one. So I'm going to take that matte color first, and I'm going to apply this to the crease. So far so good. I can actually really see that that did blend nicely. There is a lot of good pigment to it, but I'm not surprised because I usually like the matte shadows. It's usually the shimmers that I have the problem with. So let's see how that one applies. Okay, so I kind of had to tap it off a little bit. This one has a little bit more fallout than the actual blush products, but so far so good. I'm actually really liking this shadow. I'm actually kind of surprised right now. This is also kind of like a color placement I don't normally do, but I feel like with the colors that I have in this quad, this is kind of the only way I can really make a look kind of work for it. But so far I'm actually kind of liking this. It's a little bit different. So that is how it looks with the dark shimmer color. I'm still kind of like impressed. It went on very smoothly. It's definitely not like a super like intense kind of shimmer, but it's definitely miles better than other Korean shadows that I've tried. So far I really like this. And then finally I'm gonna take this last color. I think I'm gonna kind of do this on like the inner corner and maybe like the little inner lower lash line as well. I think that definitely showed up pretty nicely. I think that this is probably one of my favorite Korean shadows that I've tried. It reminds me a lot of like just a Western eyeshadow. It's not like this weird kind of foil-y like shimmer that kind of like, I don't know, there's just some that I have I really don't like from Etude House. There were like some like shimmer ones that are like kind of flaky and they kind of like don't apply evenly. They'll leave like little gaps where you can kind of see the skin through it. As far as this, I feel like this is just really nice and I really like this. Okay, so the next 3 products I have are all in the same type of packaging, but they're all different colors. So this is what they look like. It's kind of interesting, but they look like little bells, which I think is so super cute. This first one is the glitter one, the one that's in like the silver kind of chrome one. That one is the glitter one. There are 2 different colors of that one. I got the silver coral color and this one was $11.12. Kind of like brushed gold finish one is the gel liner. There are 4 colors of this one and this one was $11.92, and I have the one in the color black, and it's actually really cute because the little handle of this actually comes out, and that is a little brush applicator for applying the gel liner. And then of course if you just unscrew the bottom, that is where your gel liner is. So this is the only one that is actually just a little bit different in like the way you open the package. The other 2, there is actually, you can't unscrew the bottom half here, but the actual handle is the brush itself and it actually twists out. So that one is just a little bit different, and then it has like a regular eyeshadow applicator. This one just has like a brush tip. It's not a felt tip, so I'm just going to apply this. I'm surprised how like well this actual like little handle feels. Very comfortable to apply. Oh, does anyone like not breathe when they apply their eyeliner? I feel like I just like don't breathe for like 30 seconds straight. So that is, oh no! Oh no, I blinked before it was completely dry and I have a little bit of transfer here. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. There's still a little mark, but I think if I mess with it too much, I'm gonna mess it up. So far, yeah, I think I like this. It was really easy to apply. Overall, I think that this is not a bad one at all, but I also really don't think it's like anything that's super spectacular, but I do like it. So next I'm gonna use the gel liner. Typically, I wouldn't really like do one on top and one on the bottom, but I do wanna like give it a go. And I did buy these like almost a month ago. It's taken a while to get to me. So I actually had bought this before I had even gotten my BoxyCharm box, where I ended up getting like my holy grail kind of gel liner. So now I feel like it's definitely kind of a little bit wasteful because I'm never gonna go through all this gel liner before they like kind of dry up, but I still want to give this one a go since I do own it. So this is what the brush looks like. To be honest, I like ones that are a lot smaller and a little bit more thinner, so it does kind of have like a flattened side, but then it is, I feel like this is just more of like a lip brush, to be honest. For how I'm going to use this, I feel like it'll be okay, but for applying to my like upper lash line, I don't like that type of brush. I don't know if you can see, but there's like this little ledge piece in here that I actually really like because you can kind of brush off or like wipe off some of the product onto that. I really wish a lot more products had that kind of ledge there. I really like that. Okay, so I'm gonna apply this just to like my waterline, but I'm not gonna bring it all the way in because I find that it just smudges on me a lot of the time. But I'm just gonna take a little bit and put it on the outer half of my waterline. And then the final one I have, this one is like the silver colored one. This one is the glitter liner, or it's, I would say more of a shimmer liner. And again, this one just has like a really teeny tiny brush to that. So I'm just gonna apply, I think, a little bit of this to my lower inner lash line. I swear this has like the world's tiniest brush. So I don't know if you can see that. I applied just a very tiny bit of this. I didn't want to go over the top with it, but I think it's definitely super pretty. A little bit more on the like kind of subtle kind of side, but definitely, I don't know. I like it. Okay, so my overall thoughts of the Labiotte Momentique collection. So first of all, the packaging is so stunning. I think that is obviously what really drew me to like these products. It's just so like really nicely designed and well thought out. I do have to say that the packaging itself, like actual materials, these are all made out of like a plastic. So if you're expecting this to be like really heavy or like super nice or like metal, it's definitely not. It is a plastic, but overall it still looks really pretty. I love the kind of pocket watch, timepiece kind of theme to it. I think it's just really stunning and very different from anything I've seen, at least lately. I wish there was like a compact or something that kind of like went with this theme, but either way, I think that packaging wise, they really knocked it out of the park with these. I think they're so pretty, especially these compacts. So as far as all the products, what I thought about them. So definitely, like I said, with the blushes, these are going to swatch horribly, but I think that they apply much better than the swatches would indicate. It's also really going to be a lot more of a buildable formula. I find that they built up really nicely, but you know, with that first swipe, you're not gonna get like this really intense kind of color payoff. Are these like my favorite blushes in the world? You know, to be honest, I don't really think they are. I think that they're still great products and I'm gonna continue to use them, but it's not like, wow, I would get rid of every blush I have just to own these. I think overall with the entire line, I liked all of the products, but I didn't think any of them were like this wow, super spectacular, you know, new holy grail kind of product, but I don't think any of these were bad products either. As far as the eyeshadow, I did really like this eyeshadow. If I'm comparing it to other Korean eyeshadows that I've tried, I think this is definitely the best one that I've tried. But if I was just like grading this out of like all eyeshadow that I own, I do like it, but it's, again, it's nothing like super like, wow, that's the best eyeshadow formula ever. It just worked as it should have, in my opinion. I think that like, yeah, it's an eyeshadow. It's nice. It looked good. It blended. That's what an eyeshadow should be. So again, I'm not like going, you know, over the moon about these products. I think that they're good and they worked as they should have, but they're not necessarily anything that I'm like, you must go buy. So overall, I do really like all these products. I enjoyed using them. There's none that I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't buy that now. So I would just say really, honestly, the packaging is what really drew me in. So it's like, if this packaging doesn't speak to you or it doesn't like, I don't know, bring you happiness or make you think like, wow, I really want to own that. It's so pretty. I feel like you could probably pass on these. Again, the packaging is really what set it apart for me. The products are all good, but if these were just in like plain, boring packaging, I probably wouldn't think twice about them. I think if you buy any of these products, I don't think you would be unhappy with them at all. I think that they all performed as they should have and nicely, and you know, I didn't think any of them were like really hassle or anything like that. So overall, I really do like these. I'd say it comes down to just like your personal preference, and if you like the packaging of this, they just kind of have this really like luxe kind of collector look to them, which I enjoy. So that is it for my review of the Labiotte Momentique makeup collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below, and until my next video, I will talk to you guys later.